shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
There we go. This is such a beautiful night already because of listening to everyone greet each other and bring warmth into this space. We have so much to celebrate this Shabbat. I'll start with kind of the visually obvious. We're celebrating Kol Ami, being together for the first time, I think, since High Holy Days. Is that on the Bima?
Yeah, that's right. We were yeah, you're right.
You got COVID.
I did.
Yeah. So
we kind of missed Hanukkah.
Yeah, we missed Hanukkah. So welcome, Kol Ami. Thank you for being here. Yay. And we are celebrating Kol Nashim, the women of Suburban Temple, who will be leading this service. And we are celebrating our speakers who will teach us and inspire us this evening. You're going to hear a lot more about them in a little bit. And we are here for Shabbat. Shabbat is our day of rest, our gift of time. And we have come in from busy weeks, from stressful weeks, from, I don't know, maybe some annoying driver in front of us, worried about being late, who knows? So we need to set our intention, set our space. And so one of our rituals is to do a little breathing meditation. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and release. And with this next breath in, I want you to breathe in and think about all of the things that may have been stressful, all the things that were difficult and challenging in this week. Breathe in a little bit deeper, hold on to them for a moment, and then breathe out and try to release them. And feel your shoulders lighten and your breath release. One last breath in. And breathe in the sweetness, the beauty of Shabbat, the gift of time. Time for community, time for connection, time for learning, time for celebration. And release. And we move from breath into song.
Absolutely, yes.
Our opening song, go ahead.
I was going to say, I might add also, even though we have these wonderful 9 choir members sitting up here, that doesn't mean that you're not supposed to sing. In fact, you should sing even louder, right? Because if you were worried about singing too much, your voice will get, it'll fit in with everything else. It's not coming out well. Please sing. Okay, our opening song is Hine Matov. This one is by Alana Arian.
Page 10.
Hine Matov, Umanayim Shevetim Gam Yahad. Hine Matov, Umanayim Shevetim Gam Yahad. Hine Matov, Umanayim Shevetim Gam Yahad. Hine Matov, Umanayim Shevetim
and now we turn to candles and Kiddush. It is my pleasure to invite Lori, let me just say into the microphone when you hang right here. Lori Resnick, our Executive Director Emerita and member of Kol Ami, to kindle our Shabbat lights. We are on page 3. And if it is your custom to light Shabbat candles at home, please join us here up front. And you may enjoy lighting candles here as well.
Yeah, or if it's your custom to light them here. We have a lot of people who've really been enjoying that, so.
We don't seem to have a battery for that one, so there you go.
Okay, not a problem.
Can I see?
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and into our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher tishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu, lechad l'neh, lechad l'neh, shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Okay. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. And on the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and called it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzo inhilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tefilah lemitzvahei kodesh, zeker l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'chata, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ami, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'hava uvratzon, inkaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim. I'm going to take this. And we continue with our opening reading which is found on page 6. It's my pleasure to ask Shelley Nair, who has been acting as Kol Nashim president for many, many years.
We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its thresholds. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer.
Thank you. We continue our service with the call to worship on page 28. The Baruch Hu, please rise in body or in spirit.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Page 34, 35, you'll find beautiful spread across 2 pages. The Shema, the watchword of our faith, we sing together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ezeh asher anochi metzavcha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shofecha uv'tumecha וקשרתם להוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
My pleasure to invite Susan Hirsch to come forward. We're on page 39, preparing for Micha Mocha, our song of freedom.
Okay. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. There is a better place, a promised land, and the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get there from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together.
We join in Freedom Song together on page 40.
Please turn to page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Love and understand.
So Deb, Andy and I had just a moment of conversation here, and she said I could just stand here and watch Kol Ami. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I would
Well,
love.
we have a few more for you.
I know. Could you say a word about that song?
Yes, so this Hashki Venu was written by Noah Aronson, and he wrote it as part of a project of, it's called The Left Side of the Page. In Mishkan Tefillah, you know, the prayers are on the right, and there are interpretations on the left. And this song is, as you heard, because Andy read it, based on the reading on the left side of the page. And this is a piece that Kol Ami has brought to our synagogue, and every time you see Kol Ami, hopefully we'll get better and better, and you'll sing along more and more with that one.
Thank you. And we're going to sing one more time. We're going to turn to page 44 for Vishamru, which is the reminder to each of us of the gift of Shabbat, that we should celebrate Shabbat because it refreshes us, which is the last word in Hebrew of the Vishamru Vayinafash, and was refreshed.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ולעולם.
Continue now on page 46 with the Amidah. First, we'll sing the chant on page 46 to reset our intentions, and then we will chant on page 48, page 50, and page 52 straight through. Please rise in body or in spirit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu Imotenu וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים וחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומדומה לך, מלך ממיט ומחיה, ומצליח ישועה. ונאמן אתה חיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללו הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. It's my pleasure to invite Emily Gusky to come forward as we turn to page 59.
God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lahadot.
On page 60, Shalom Rav. The word shalom means peace, Rav means great. And so with this prayer song, we pray and sing for a great peace. Peace in the world, peace in our hearts. We sing together. we take a few moments for silent prayer and reflection.
May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you. Oh God, my rock and my redeemer, my rock and my redeemer. Ye who live on song, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you. Oh God, my rock and my redeemer, my rock and my redeemer. He who lives on
Over the years, Kol Nashim, the Women's Shabbat, has taken on a number of different characteristics. And a number of years ago, we added a Torah service to the experience with members of Kol Nashim reading from the Torah and carrying the Torah and Hakafah in a processional throughout the congregation, and also lifting the Torah up high. And so we continue that this evening by turning to Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of the Torah, on page 245. There are a lot of people involved in the Torah service. So at this point, if you hear your name or hear instructions, listen. So in the beginning of the Torah service, I am pleased to ask Muriel Letterman, who is singing, to come forward, Ellen Ross and Ellen Weber to come forward, and Rabbi Shauna Nair, who we could not do anything without. Rabbi Shauna is our Director of Lifelong Learning. She helped to put this service together, and for sure, my partner in crime. So they are going to help us begin the service. Those of you reading Torah, if you want to follow us up with the Hakafah, I think that would be fantastic. Muriel.
Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear, to learn, to revere God, Adonai, your God. And let their children, who do not yet know it, hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai, your God.
Please rise.
this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
All right. So I didn't call you up by name, so now I have to call you up by name. So how many years have you been, the four of you, been reading Torah? 5? Okay. So Susan Merdler, you're gonna wave, Michelle Brown and Lori Rosenberg have been reading Torah for the Kol Nashim service for about 5 years. And Linda Wolf has been teaching Torah for 50 years. So Linda, would you do us the honor of the Aliyah? In honor of your 50th anniversary of teaching, inspiring, being present for us, we would love to honor you with this Aliyah. Aliyah means to rise up. It's one of the highest honors that one can give in the service. And so you raise us up with your teaching, with the love, with the joy that you bring every time you teach Torah. And so thank you for honoring us. And she didn't know this is a surprise. For 50 years of raising us up. And so you probably don't need this, but there's the blessing. And I'll let your students gather around you.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai le'olam hamimbarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Vayomer Adonai El Moshe Ra'eh Nataticha Elohim LeFaro Va'aharon Achicha Yehiyeh Nevi'echa Ata Tidaber Et Kol Asher Ataveka Va'aharon Achicha Yidaber El Paro V'shilach et Bnei Yisrael Me'arto Va'ani akshe et lev Paro V'hir beiti et atotai v'et movtai ba'eretz Mitzrayim v'lo yishma alechem Paro v'natati et yadi b'Mitzrayim v'hotzeti et zivotai et ami b'nei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim bishvatim gedolim v'yad'u Mitzrayim ki ani Adonai b'intoti et yadi al Mitzrayim V'hotzeti et b'nei Yisrael mitocham. Vayas Moshe v'Aharon ka'asher tziva Adonai otam kain asu. Umoshe ben shmonim shana Va'aharon ben shalosh ushmonim shana b'dabram el Paro.
Vayomer Adonai El Moshe ve'el Aharon lemor ki yedaber alechem Paro lemor tenu lachem ofet ve'amarta el Aharon kach et matecha v'hashlech lifnei Paro yehi letanin. Vayavo Moshe v'Aharon el Paro v'yasu chen ka'asher tziva Adonai v'yashlech Aharon et matecha lifnei Paro v'lifnei avodah vayehi letanin.
Vayikra gam paro lahachamim v'lam hashvim vaya'asu gam heim hartume Mitzrayim balahatehem kain vayashlihu ish matehu vayihiyu lataninim vayivla mate aharon et matotam.
Vayechezak lev paro v'lo shama alehem kasher diber Adonai. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe kaved lev paro me'en l'shalach ha'am. Lech el paro baboker hine yotze hamaima v'nitzavta likrato al safat hayeor bahamateh asher nepach lenachash tikach biyadecha ve'amarta elav Adonai Elohei ha'ivrim shalachani elecha lemor shalach et ami v'ya'avduni bamidbar v'hine lo shamata ad כה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet b'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. So when someone does, or some people do a good job, we say Yesher Koach. So let's all say Yesher Koach. Beautiful. I need that. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you.
We have turned to Torah for strength for thousands of years, and tonight that is no different. We continue to turn to Torah for strength when there are many whom we love who are in need of healing, whether it be a healing of body, a healing of spirit, when we struggle with mental anguish, physical anguish, or just life's struggles. And so we turn to the middle of page 253 for our prayer for healing, our Mishaberach. And if you are at home, I invite you to lift up in the chat those names that you feel need a little extra lifting up on this Shabbat. And as my hand passes over our community here in the congregation, please share aloud the names of loved ones who are struggling.
Jane Michelangelo.
We join all of the names that have been shared aloud with those names that still reside in our hearts as we sing our healing prayer together.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
It's customary to lift the Torah up high and turn it around so that you can see, even though it's a little small, exactly what it is that our incredible women have just read. Deborah Light already knew her cue. She's on her way up. This is no easy feat. And we rise in honor of the Torah, and then we'll put the Torah away. Cleveland is one of the luckiest cities in the world when it comes to culture. We have an extraordinary theater district and an extraordinary museum district. And this evening, we are so blessed to learn about our Museum of Natural History. We're going to learn about our Museum of Natural History from not one, but two speakers. We're going to learn about our Museum of Natural History from the chair of the board and from the director and CEO, president and CEO. To introduce them more formally, it is my pleasure to introduce the chairs of this evening, Susan Merdler and Andy Wasserman. They're going to introduce both of them at the same time. And I think Sally is going to speak first, and then Sonia is going to speak second. They both have both of our speakers have very long and extraordinary resumes. We've edited them. So I hope neither of you mind that we, especially Sonia. So we shortened your bio a little.
Sally Sears. As a resident of Hunting Valley, Sally is a community leader and philanthropist. She has served on the selection committee for the Mandel JCC Cleveland Jewish Film Fest for 15 years, including 4 years as co-chair. Sears has been an active member of the Cleveland Museum of Natural History's Board of Directors since 2014. She is co-chair of the Transforming the World of Discovery campaign and Transformation Task Force, and has served on the Executive, Governance, and Nominating, Advancement, and Health Advisory Committees. She is also a member of Friends of CMNH. Sears has assumed the role of chair as the Board of Directors in September 2021. In addition, Sears and her husband Larry have been major donors to the museum's annual fund and campaign. In recognition of their service to Case Western University, Sears and her husband Larry received the President's Award for Visionary Achievement in 2018. In 2022, they received the Outstanding Philanthropist, Leadership Award for the Association of Fundraising Professionals, Greater Cleveland Chapter. Sears is a 1972 graduate of Case Western Reserve University, Flora Stone Mather College, and a 1974 graduate of the School of Library Science. She taught kindergarten at Agnon School and was a librarian at Cleveland Public Schools. She's then worked for many years at Larry's electronics company, Hexagram Inc. While volunteering in the community, the Sears have 3 children and 3 grandchildren. And they've also been longtime dedicated members of Suburban Temple, Kol Ami. I'd like to welcome Sally Sears.
Sonia Winter became the 10th director of the Cleveland Museum of Natural History in July 2018. In this role, she partners with a 50-person board of directors and 120 staff members to advance the mission of the museum. For 100 years, the museum has been inspiring a passion for science and nature in its visitors. It ranks among the top 10 natural history museums in the United States in terms of endowment, size of collection, and attendance. Through the museum's transformation project and 150 million Transforming the World of Discovery campaign, Winter is spearheading a complete reimagining of the museum, which will serve as a new role model for natural history museums globally. Winter's experiences in leadership, service, and transforming organizations earned her numerous honors. We will just name a few of these within the past 2 years. In 2022, she was named a Smart Business Magazine Progressive Woman honoree. In 2021, she was inducted into the Hall of Fame of Cleveland State University College of Law, was elected to the 50 Club of Cleveland, and was a Tri-C Foundation Smart Women Awards honoree. We welcome both of them.
Hope this is okay. Good evening. I want to begin by thanking the members of Kol Nashim for asking me to speak at tonight's service. I'm thrilled to be able to talk about one of my favorite subjects, the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. I'd like to talk about my connection with the museum from the perspective of time. So Rabbi, that was great that you talked about time before. I admit I don't know what Jewish texts have to say about time, but Einstein thought a lot about it, so that's as good a Jewish connection as any for me. I'll talk a little later about how my Jewish values align perfectly with the mission, vision, and values of the museum. I think a lot about time, how it's going too fast, how I spend a lot of time worrying about what I would say tonight, how COVID time is weird, and how timing is everything. I think that cliche explains how I became so involved in the museum and how I came to be chair in 2021. Before I get to the museum, I'd like to give a little background regarding how I spent some of my time growing up in Youngstown in the 1950s and 1960s. Behind the house that I grew up in is an urban park called Crandall Park. And Natalie knows that very well because she lived down the street from me. It has a pond with swans and ducks, and I would often open my bedroom window, which faced the park, and listen to the ducks, which made a lot of noise. I didn't hear too much from the swans since they were mute swans. The park also has a creek where I spend a lot of time trying to catch tadpoles, put them in jars, only to have them die on me in no time. For many years, I was an enthusiastic camper at the Youngstown JCC, and every day at summer camp, the buses would drive us to the other side of town to Mill Creek Park, a beautiful urban park of over 4,000 acres. The resident naturalist, Mr. Vickers, would give talks about nature and lead us on hikes through interesting rock formations. When I was in middle school, I was at away camp in the Laurel Highlands of Pennsylvania and had a negative experience which had a big influence on me. A group of campers and I were walking through the woods with the riflery instructor when suddenly he pulled out a gun and killed a bird. I was horrified and couldn't imagine why someone would purposely kill a bird. Perhaps that incident is partly the reason why I particularly love birds and enjoy bird watching. I'm happy to say that the camp eventually went out of business. I come from a medical family, and my father was a doctor, and my mother and sister were nurses, and my other sister was a medical librarian for a while. I grew up understanding the importance of human health, and as I got older, I came to understand how human health and the health of the planet are interconnected. I think some of these experiences when I was young certainly gave me an appreciation for science and nature. Fast forward to the 1980s, my husband Larry and I couldn't wait to take our 3 children to the museum when they were old enough. It quickly became our favorite place to visit. I know the gift shop had something to do with that, but the museum's world-class collections, exhibits, and exciting educational programming sparked our children's wonder and curiosity for the world around them. Once the children were grown up and out of the house, Larry and I didn't go to the museum very much. However, in 2013, Larry became aware that the museum was undergoing a campaign to expand its campus and reimagine all its exhibits. He felt that we should support the campaign, and I agreed. That year, we joined a museum trip to Iceland, which is when I got to know several museum supporters and learn and meet the museum's curator of ornithology. In 2014, I was asked to join the board at a time when the board was looking to attract more women and someone like me who wasn't from the old guard. In 2021, I was asked to become board chair. I was surprised that I was considered for the position since I think of myself as a behind-the-scenes person. I had to give the offer a lot of thought. In addition, even though I had been on the board for 7 years at that point, I still felt new and that I had so much more to learn. But I thought about how much I believe in the museum's mission and vision, and I knew that I had a terrific, passionate board to support me and work with me, and that Sonia Winner, the president and CEO, and I would make a good team, all of us working together for a common goal. So I said yes, and I'm deeply humbled and honored to be the first female chair in the museum's 100-plus year history. I think that my being Jewish didn't hurt either. Many institutions in Cleveland and beyond are making a concerted effort to better reflect the diversity of their communities in their hiring practices and in their board nominations. Women are being elected to lead their boards for the first time. I came along at the right time. My goal is to lead an engaged board that enables Sonia and her staff to carry out the museum's mission. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Larry gives me tremendous support. He's my sounding board, and he is always willing and happy to attend the many museum events that I ask him to go to. In fact, Sonia refers to Larry as an honorary board member for all the attention he gives the museum. And then there's our daughter, Natalie, who as a child dreamed of working at the museum one day, and who's worked there for the past 8 years, first at the front desk, and now for the past 3 years as the museum's full-time copy editor. For us, the museum is very much a family affair. Recently, the museum conducted a Marist poll and found that 90% of Americans trust in science and believe that an understanding of science is necessary. But almost half of those polled believe they are falling behind in their understanding of science. And scientists are the most trusted source of scientific information, according to almost 60% of those polled. Our mission and vision have never been more important for the good of the community. Our mission, to inspire through science and education, a passion for nature, the protection of natural diversity, the fostering of health, and leadership to a sustainable future. Our vision, to explore, engage, and empower for a better tomorrow. The Jewish values of repairing the world, making a positive difference in the world, caring for the natural world, the responsibility to take action and to make the world a better place and inspire others to do the same, of having respect and empathy for others, working toward environmental justice for all, and erasing health disparities. These are the museum's values. It gives me great joy and a sense of purpose to leave an institution that values science and nature, education, and lifelong learning. The issues so much in the news lately, the pandemic, climate change, and the threats to biodiversity, impact all of us and remind us of the relevance of science and nature to our lives. My experiences as a child influenced the path I've taken, which makes me think about the young visitors to the museum. More than ever before, the reimagined museum will be a wow and fun place that inspires in children, our future leaders, a sense of wonder and curiosity for the world, an appreciation for nature, and an understanding of the power of science. Timing is everything, and now is the time for the museum to present a beautiful, new, awe-inspiring building and landscape on Wade Oval. The physical and living worlds are always telling a story. Our reimagined exhibits will not tell the stories on a timeline, but by illustrating biological and geological processes in relation to human impact. The visitor will be at the center of the experience. And when the reimagined museum opens in late 2024, it will be like no other natural history museum in the world. This is the perfect time for me to introduce Sonia Winner, the museum's president and CEO. And frankly, I couldn't imagine myself standing up here talking about the museum without Sonia. And I thank her for graciously agreeing to be here tonight. Much of the credit for setting the museum's $150 million campaign on a course for success is due to Sonia. At the time the museum was looking for a new CEO, Sonia was already working as its chief development officer. She was in the right place at the right time. She has led the museum since 2018, and among her many honors was recently named one of Crane's Cleveland Power 150. There is no doubt that without her thoughtful leadership, we would not be in the position we are in today. I know that Sonia prefers to talk about the museum and not about herself, so it's my great pleasure to introduce Sonia Winner.
So first I want to say, Sally didn't want to take this role because she said, I don't like to do any public speaking. I don't think I'm good at it. But I will say, you are fantastic. She's fantastic. It's all about stories. So I want to thank everyone tonight and thank the rabbi for coordinating all of this and really such a warm welcome and such a wonderful music. I mean, it's just been delightful. So thank you so much. But I'm here to talk about, as a parent, my son learned to walk at the Cleveland Museum of natural history. And so it's such a great privilege to represent the museum. And I think about all of those kids. On Monday, we had over 6,000 people at the museum for free for our Discovery Day. And seeing the excitement and really seeing the future. So many of you may think of dinosaurs. I teasingly say it's the gateway drug to natural history because everyone loves dinosaurs, but we are really setting the museum on a course to really talk about the future and what is happening in our own health, human health, and the health of the planet. You know, Cleveland is uniquely qualified to talk about those things with the wonderful science and medical communities that we have. And the first health museum was started here in the United States, was started here in Cleveland, and that merged with the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. So we really feel as if we have a curator of human health, and we want to tell the story, not so much of the story of life on a timeline, but present that record of life about the future. What does this mean for the planet? What is it happening with extreme weather that we're seeing in California? How does that tie to botany? Those are the questions. And so the new museum will be very inquiry-based. You will be able to ask questions as the visitor, and we want you to come back and return and think about the ideas that we're presenting and the science we're presenting. And this science always changes. That's the other thing that, you know, many people want an answer. For example, with COVID, well, we are still learning about so much about what's going on in the world. So we hope to be that forum and that really that community center. I will also talk about philanthropy, and the Mandel Foundation gave us a generous grant of $3 million so that we can open the museum for free on Sundays to residents of Cleveland and East Cleveland. East Cleveland has a special place in my heart because I taught at Shaw High School briefly. It's the second poorest school district in the state. So when we think about access and engagement, I would love, my dream is to make the museum free. That may not be the best model, but making it more affordable and putting down those barriers to cost is very important. So we are in a $150 million campaign. We've raised $122 million to date, and we've all worked so hard. The board, the community. I think that it is such a beloved community asset. And so we're also proud to represent it. We've done a strategic plan, and thanks to Sally, we're carrying that out. She's talked about the science, the literacy, so important that people understand science and yearn for more information, but feel they're falling behind. Think about what's happened to the profession of journalism, how hard it is to get real information, but museums are seen as authentic places where people can get information. They don't feel that way about politicians, unfortunately, and they see us as a place where they can have all of the facts presented in a rational way. Our visitors, once everything is done, will have over 400,000 square feet completely revamped. And so when you come down now, you know, we have a lot of construction going on, but you'll be able, it doesn't look like, the facade does not look like a dentist's office anymore. It really looks pretty spectacular. And so I hope you'll come down, and at night it's going to be gorgeous. You'll be able to see inside the museum. So we're bringing nature in, and you'll be able to look out. There are two things people hate about museums. We did a survey. One, there aren't enough bathrooms. Bathrooms are very important to me, so we were making sure there are enough bathrooms. And number two, and they're important to Sally too. And number two, what's really important is people don't like dark spaces. And so what we've done is we've opened the museum. Today we did a tour, and it's incredible to be in there, even on a cloudy day with so much light coming in. And so we want to create those community spaces. We'll have a visitors hall that will open in a year, and it will be a community space, and it will be free. and our most iconic objects will be in that space. So if you come down and you only want to you have grandchildren that only can take an hour or so, you can go there, and we hope it to give you a taste of coming into the museum. We've designed it with the visitor in mind. Our scientists, the talent that we hire are those that are very comfortable and want to communicate science to non-scientists. So we also partner with Case Western and with university hospitals. We have doctors who are coming to, as part of their community service requirement that UH has, to come down to do their community service on Sundays and on other days. And it's just been just a wonderful partnership. We also have interactive learning. So even when COVID closed museums and closed schools for children, we were able to really broadcast out. We have all 50 states and 23 countries globally, and many places in Ohio, especially in southeastern Ohio, they don't have health teachers. And we provide that health education for students. So it's a really important part. So we have been around 100 years, and we're a legacy institution, obviously expanding. We've got 2 women running the place. And it's really important for us as we move forward with our values to really think about how we can empower everyone to care about science and nature. And nature truly is the portal to science. And if you ask the scientists on our staff, the reason they became scientists is something that happened to them, particularly as children, about nature. So get out in nature. It really will do you good. But our founders wanted our museum not just to be for research. It was that knowledge, and I don't like to use the term education. It's really about knowledge, is that knowledge is to be shared. So when your formal education is over, you can come to the museum and be a lifelong learner. And they talked about this diffusion of knowledge and how important that was. At our very core, it's in our articles that we talk about that. So we've really used that as our guide star for how we're building the museum. We are aligning our architecture with our mission for the first time. We will be at least gold certified, and if not platinum for sustainability. So we're very proud of that. And we're also integrating our education staff with our science staff. So they're all working together so that they can present programming. And we're changing our programming as well to reflect the future, and not just what someone learned in 4th grade, but continuing people to learn. I also want to say something. When you make an investment in the museum, we have had 45 years, consecutive years of balanced budgets for our operating budget. We're very proud of that. We have a $180 million endowment. We're also very proud of that. And so the Cleveland Book of Lists, some of you who may look at that, we were ranked 57th on expenses for nonprofits. But if you ranked us by net assets, the only organizations with higher net assets are the Cleveland Museum of Art and the Jewish Federation of Cleveland. So we're in good company as well. So I just want to say thank you so much. I look forward to meeting more of you, and I hope that you'll come down to the museum, even during our construction, because it's a lot of fun to see a front end loader and all kinds of things. And in my experience, I have learned more about HVAC systems and central utility plants than I think I ever wanted to learn. But it's been a ton of fun. And someone said that, usually in your career, you only build one building because it's so darn hard. But I have to tell you, I have had such great partners. Our architect is Cleveland-based, but one of the finest and most renowned architectural firms in the world. And our exhibit designers have really listened to us. We've had 100 people on Zoom calls. Sally has been at every single exhibit design meeting along with another board member. So this is a shared vision that we all have together about what we can, it's a gift to the community. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for both of your gifts. I often say that words and teaching are gifts, and Sally and Sonia, you have given us so much this evening, teaching us about the treasures of Cleveland, inspiring us to all go and visit the Cleveland Museum of Natural History. We are a congregation that cherishes learning and cherishes innovative learning, and you have reminded us how much innovative learning there is in Cleveland. So thank you for being forward thinking, and we look forward to a continued partnership. Sally and Larry, thank you for being such long partners with our congregation. And Sonia, we look forward to a renewed partnership with the museum. We're gonna jump back into our liturgy, I believe.
Let's do that.
We should do that. And in fact, Sally taught us about the missions of how important Tikkun Olam is. The prayer that we're going to turn to on page 283 is Aleinu. Most of you think, oh, it's Aleinu, the service is almost over. Yes, the service is almost over. However, the meaning of Aleinu is reminding us of our partnership with God in making the world a more perfect place. Aleinu comes again from the word aliyah, to raise up. We raise ourselves up and remind ourselves of our connection to God in making the world better. Page 283, we rise in body or in spirit. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else.
La'ananu korim, umishtahavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yiyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. We continue now with our time of remembering. We turn to our memorial meditation. I believe it's on page 295. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. On this Shabbat, we mark those taken from us most recently in our temple family, those in Shloshim in the first month since their death, Adele Jones, Muriel Nachman. And we mark the yahrzeits that fall on this Shabbat: Sylvia Perlman Bayman, Isabel Gupp Brown, Esther Herrer Feinberg, Zella G. Folkman, Esther First, Jacob Goldman, Bernard L. Goldman, Marie R. Goldrich, Samuel Greenberg, Ruth Gustke, Marilyn Loomis Haas, Alan K. Hexter, Rose C. Cabot, Florence Koronis Kalmanovsky, Annabelle Kusterbeck, Jane Levetter, Solomon Harris Levy, Beatrice Lieberman, Rynette Madow, Elaine Marcus, Bertha Marcuson, Phyllis Menlowitz, Elaine Messer, Lee Power, Sydney Presand, Frank J. Reski, Theodore Rosenthal, Mark Rubensall, Leo H. Schlang, Kenneth Skall, Irving R. Stoddard, William C. Swanson, Dorothy S. Weber, Adolph Witter, Kenneth Rocky Yuko. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as together we turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Please rise in body or in spirit. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra hirute v'amlich malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudasha barechu le'elal min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav huya aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and give comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, amen. Please be seated. My pleasure to ask the president of our congregation and Master Torah reader tonight, Lori Rosenberg, to come forward to share a few words of announcement.
So they always want to ask what your superhero name is. I guess I have a new one. Thank you all for being here tonight for our Shabbat service, our Kol Nashim Shabbat service, and it is something that we look forward to each year. And it is amazing for all the people who participated, so thank you for that. And it's nice to see so many people here in the sanctuary for this service, so thank you. Also want to thank Sally Sears and Sonia Winter for, you're back there, for being a part of our service and enlightening us on who you are as people and who you represent as a museum and how it makes Cleveland stronger. So thank you for that. In the back of the room are our co-chairs for tonight, Susan Merdler and Andy Wasserman. So they also part of the service, but they are getting ready for our beautiful oneg. So I wanted to say thank you to them for what they have done for tonight. Rabbi Van, oh, we're both on the same side of the bima right now. It's usually this and it's that, but thank you, Rabbi, for leading the service and involving the women of Kol Nashim in a meaningful way. So thank you for that. Deb, thank you for the music, and I'm going to connect the two. Thank you for bringing Kol Ami to our service, and thank you to our members here who brought joyous music, and it's nice you can pick out some of the voices, and it's really nice to have you as part of our service, whether it be for tonight or any other evening that you're a part of us. Mike McKay, thank you for being here tonight and helping bring all the music today. It's really nice to see you back here. And I think that's the Bema side. So now we're going to move to the congregational side. And as the Rabbi Shauna reminded me, our tent starts this Sunday, and I shouldn't sleep in. It's been many Sundays since we've been there. I think I could sleep in because I'm taking a class at 11. So there is a little bit of sleeping in time. But there's still registration is open, and we have classes, and I know some of my friends are interested in the Jewish values and protests through music. We have a cooking class, we have American and Israeli games, and the importance of self-care, and many more. So take a look. And even if you're not interested, I recommend that you go out and look to see the depth of our lifelong learning program. Adi Rabinowitz Bedin is a VIP at Yad Vashem. She's a tour guide there, and she will be a lecturer, and she lectures on the Holocaust, and she will be here on the 26th at 7 p.m., and her topic is Jewish resistance during the Holocaust. So I really believe that that's going to be an interesting presentation. So we encourage you to stop on by and visit us and be here for that. The Kol Nashim Book Club was scheduled to meet on Monday, the 23rd, which is Monday coming up, and it has been rescheduled until January 30th at 7 p.m. See, we've got a lot going on. I have no idea what the book is.
Unthinkable by Jamie Raskin. Let me know if you need the Zoom link.
This is the love of our congregation, right? Right? It is who we are. It's good. Tomorrow we have a program for the little people in the congregation and their big people. It is our Rise and Shine Shabbat. I know I'll get it out there. Rabbi Shauna, Rabbi Van, and Maggie Weiss will be there. There's music, there's songs, there's learning. It's a whole bunch of wonderful things that the two rabbis have put together for our congregation and their families. And that is tomorrow from 10:30 to 11:30 at the Mayfield Library. So any of these programs, you could go visit our website, but then you can also email or give Rochelle, Erin, I know, a call. She is in the office. I don't know if all of you have met her yet, but she is a wonderful addition to our community and our leadership and office folks. And I guess I just want to say that everyone in the office, John's not in the office, but John, they do a wonderful job for them. So if you see them, just take a moment to say thank you. It's what they do is you can't even fathom. So, oh, right, and Jacob in the back. Thank you for the prompt. And he is our tech guy, and when you are at home, Jacob is the one that's making it work for you. So thank you, Jacob. And Shabbat Shalom, and we look forward to seeing you at the ONEG.
Jacob loved the museum when he was a kid too, I happen to know.
So we are going to end with song and then motzi. We've been sitting a long time, so if you want to get, maybe we should.
Oh, let's everybody.
So we're going to rise as able. We're going to have a quick closing song that's very dancey. And then we're going to have our benediction followed quickly by motzi. And then you can get out there to our beautiful extended Kiddush.
All right, here we go.
Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Shalom, Shalom. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kulam. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai hana velecha v'chunecha.
May the light of God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yes, Adonai hana velecha. Yasem lecha shalom, veyasem lecha shalom.
May God lift up each one of us, and may God bring us shalom, peace, and wholeness.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together, as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
B'tei Avon Shabbat Shalom, everyone.